Hello everyone, this is Carmela of the Senora Kitchen, and today we're talking to you from beautiful Utah, snowy Utah. You should see, it's just amazing. We're surrounded by mountains. It's an amazing spot to be. And today we're in Thomas Fox's home of the 3blenders.com. And I thought I'd like to introduce you to Thomas because it's been a really interesting visit. I got to learn about a blender that I didn't know before. And you know me and gadgets, I just love to find new appliances, and it's fun to discover something that really works and can be helpful in a raw kitchen. So Thomas, can you tell us a bit about what interested you, what got you started with blenders.com, 3blenders.com?
I had many of you are out there on the internet have read about my website, and I have had cancer. Had cancer, not have had cancer, colon cancer. And a couple of years back, before that I already started selling blenders with Vitamix, the 5000, and I switched to the 5200 model, and then I liked it a lot. I noticed the differences or the difficulties in learning the smoothie blending and the refrigerator issues, space and the storage and the spoiling and the not tasting good or not sticking with it, and you have your phases of you use your blender once a month or every day, these ups and downs. And I started looking around different blenders. I got to use the 3 horsepower Vitamix blender a lot, 5200 then. Vitamix and I, we ran into a little feud, so I looked at Blendtec blenders, actually buy them, and I try them out, make smoothies with them, and then I got into Warren blenders, and we all know that they're very expensive blenders, and face it, $400 or $500, it's a chunk of money. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't buy that. I'm always trying to find for a less costly, good quality blender, and since Vitamix and I didn't get along that well, I guess I was looking for something else. In addition, I found the Omni blender. It's made in China, and so is most of our things nowadays. And I've been selling it. I got in a sample, and I was really impressed. I took it apart. And if you go on my website on the 3blenders.com, there's a place where you can see how I take them apart. You see the motor itself, and they're very comparable. And high quality blender, lasts a long time, and cost half the money of what the VitaPrep 3 is. And if you were going to put the VitaPrep 3 and the Omni blender next to each other, and they would cost the same amount of money, then I'd go for the VitaPrep 3. But they don't cost the same amount of money, so there's a lot of value in the Omni blender. The question is, well, does it do the job as well as the others? Yes. How well does it hold up, and what's the price? Those are my consumer. I look at this as a consumer standpoint, since I'm a consumer myself.
And I visited your website, and what really impressed me, there was a few elements to it that I really liked. One of them, I recognized you right away. Having spent some time with you, I see that what really comes across is Thomas's openness, and he's just a really genuine guy, really honest. And what I also appreciated, I saw you have several videos on your site, and you're really comparing, and you're not, you want to get the message out there. You want to tell them, okay, I've tried these things, and I want you to see objectively what works best, or what's the pros and cons, and I think that's great.
And there are pros and cons. We have to face it on everything. And what one thing may appeal better to one person than to another. So to you it's a pro, to me it's a con. It's not always about money. Yeah, that's an important value factor, of course, but some people like the Vitamix container. Some people buy the Omni blender with Vitamix container. They like that better. And others buy it with the Omni container. About 40% of my sales are with Vitamix containers. That's the authentic Vitamix. Is a nice thing. The Omni blender is Vitamix, 100% Vitamix compatible. That means there's a drive socket. That could be interchanged. The blades are interchangeable. The container itself, even the cushion, the rubber cushion, is interchangeable. The legs are interchangeable. The rubber feet.
Right.
So
it's a Vitamix container, but with the OmniBlade.
yeah, but even with the Vitamix container and the
You could
Vitamix
put your
blade,
Vitamix, right?
the only thing is I put the Vitamix container into the package with the Omni blade in it,
Right.
because it's at least as good as the Vitamix blade and it costs less money.
Mhm.
That's another value factor right there, because I buy direct and I don't increase the pricing so much on
I
it.
mean, the look of it
Yes.
is more like the Blendtec in a way, especially the fact that it's computerized.
Yes.
But it's not. It seems more solid to me, and it's.
It doesn't wobble back and forth so much. Yeah, that's because of the wider footprint. So it's you could look at it, the Omni Blender, in some way. There's some similarities to look with the Vitamix and other points of use. How you look at it, the square container. Yeah, some people say it reminds me of the Blendtec design, the square one. But there's pros and cons. If you blend very little in the square container, you wish you would have put in more because the blade can reach it easier. But then if you blend bigger and harder things, they're easier in the bigger, wider blender. Flaxseed, for example, is easier to blend in the bigger, wider container. And then the bigger, wider, lower profile square Omni container fits easier on the blender under your kitchen cabinets.
Mhm.
There's pros and cons back and forth. While the Vitamix container comes down like a funnel, it's narrower on the bottom, and you have very little ingredients in there, they're easier to blend right there. So I guess that's all I have to say about that.
So I had. It's been great because as soon as when we came here, we were invited by Angelica, Thomas's wife, and I had no idea that you were into the blender business. And it was such a nice surprise, and right away I was interested to give that a try and see, how it fares. And I've tried different things, and I'm really impressed, really.
You know why Angelica wanted to have you here is it had nothing to do with the blenders. We work together, Angelica and I. It's her business, by the way. And I work for Angelica officially.
Oh.
But anyway, so it's she said to me, Thomas, I want Carmela and Don and Kylo and Puss to come because they cook fantastic meals, and she was following your blog for quite some time, I understand. And so she emailed you and she wanted you to come and cook and teach, and I thought it worked out really wonderful. It was fantastic.
And I didn't expect that we would be.
Yeah.
I mean, we always get something out of each place where we stay. Well, it's been so amazing to see the people that we visited, and we've been so blessed, really. And we certainly didn't expect to come and visit somebody and then learn about a new blender that might become part of our lives. So that's
that wasn't even the plan. It was just coincidental, and I guess being in the blender business, more like in the raw food business for our family, and Angelica, my wife, being in search for a better diet for all of us, and me losing some 50 pounds, 40 to 30, I don't know what it is. Anyways, so we're in the search for better health, and along that line we ran into the blenders, and she's looking and blogging your blog, looking at your blog every day. So that's how she came to you, and it's just wonderful that you came. Wow, should be paid for that.
And hopefully the time that we've spent in the kitchen together will inspire her and you to continue with the raw diet.
My wife, she said, when Don and Carmela are gone, what am I going to cook? I said, well, they could stay here. She said, well, it's been a week. That's what she said. Well, we know that the purpose is she's learning, but it helped opening up our eyes of what you can do. That we love drinking smoothies, but it certainly gets boring if you drink smoothies in the morning, lunch, and
no, you need variety.
Yeah, it's just too much. So blending helps, but I'd like chewing my raw food as well.
Wow.
So,
I know you guys will have one of my books, my new Delightfully Raw. So
I look forward to that. Yeah, awesome.
So how about now we go and see what that Omni blender can do with all this talk about it. So I'm going to put it to the test with a green smoothie.
Cool. I look forward to it.
Alrighty.
Getting hungry.
See you in the kitchen.